Now, obviously, in an area like this, not to relate what happened to the mining industry and the cost would be a travesty, so I am going to relate it. We closed down the pits in Britain, the most productive, the most economic, the most efficient in the world. And we did it on two counts. One, on the lie that they were uneconomic. And two, that they were an environmental problem. Well, let's have a look at both arguments. It would cost, we said, far more if people were unemployed than if they were kept in employment. It's interesting that as I speak to you tonight, I can look back and say that to keep the mining industry open, even if their figures were right and they weren't, it would have cost them something like 100 to 200 million pounds a year. Today we're importing into Britain 44 million tonnes of coal at a cost of 4 billion pounds. In other words, it didn't make economic sense. And it created a crime and drug-ridden culture. It brought about divisions amongst people all over Britain. And what we said would happen to us, would happen to them, has certainly happened. Steel workers wouldn't come to the aid of mine workers because of fear and because of intimidation. They said if we don't go to work, our industry could close. I remember speaking at Ravenscraig in Scotland. They employed 34,000 men at that steel plant. And I pleaded with them to support us. I said, if you don't, you'll be next. And 4 years later, they closed Ravenscraig down with the loss of 34,000 jobs, plus all the thousands of jobs which supported that industry or which depended upon that industry. They did the same with the motor car industry. We don't even produce bloody dinky cars. We've even exported them. In other words, the so-called free market is not free at all. It's manipulated. And it's manipulated in the interests of what is known as capitalism. If it makes a profit, they'll do it. If they don't, they won't.